guys? We're back. It's finally the spring in Ohio. Sadly, we're not on the water. I just had to have my appendix removed less than a week ago. I wanted to have videos ready for you guys by now, but I've been in the hospital, had surgery. Now I'm recovering for about 2 weeks or so. But I want to talk to you guys a little bit about something that I really love to do. Somewhat known for around here, I guess, if you ask some people, but is crankbait fishing. I grew up fishing crankbaits a lot. That's something I love to do. I have quite a few different setups I use. I'm not associated with any rod brands, so I have a hodgepodge of different rod brands, of different crankbait rods. But I want to show you the setups I use, what I use them for, line I use, which is going to be a little bit different than a lot of crankbait fishermen that you know, and why I use each of them. So we'll start off with probably my favorite rod, I would have to say, over time. It's old, it's beat up, but it's awesome. I wish they still made them, but they don't. And that is a Tor KBD. That's a 7'4". See if I can get that to focus there. 7'4" medium heavy cranking rod. This thing really can do it all. You can throw medium divers, square bills, deep divers, all the above. I use this one particularly for medium divers most of the time. You know, your DT10s, your 3XDs, things like that. That's kind of what I use this rod for most of the time. Not saying all the time. I throw some other stuff in there too if I need an extra rod. Line, I generally throw 15 or 12 pound test, Seaguar Red Label. I really like the Red Label. It's cheap. It's really good line. And I throw 15. I know a lot of people will be like, man, that's heavy. Yeah, I've always thrown 15 for at least a long time anyways. It's a very good all-around line. We have a lot of zebra mussels up here in the north. And if I need something to go a little bit deeper, I will just throw a little bit deeper diver bait. That's my personal preference. I will throw 12 pretty often. It's kind of hit or miss on certain baits I throw 12, certain baits I throw 15. So it kind of just depends on the bait. But I generally speaking, they either have 12 or 15 pound test. All my cranking rods do. And this one I think has 12 on it. But so the first rod, which is kind of an all-around rod, is a 7'4" medium heavy composite rod. It's not glass, it's composite. That's an old Quantum rod that has been discontinued for a handful of years. The next one is a 13 Fishing Muse. This one is a 7'4" medium heavy moderate fast, same thing, composite rod. It's also an awesome rod. This thing is a little bit stiffer than the KVD one, so I would probably stick more to the little bit heavier baits, your DT10s, 5XDs, things like that. It's another really good all-around rod. Also can double as a really good chatterbait rod too, especially like offshore submerged grass chatterbait rod. So 13 Fishing, and then the reel is a 7. That's made by St. Croix. I believe they're partner companies. It's a 7, 6 1-to-1, and all my cranking reels are going to be either 6 3-to-1 or 6 1-to-1. I don't go slower because if you get in current or you have a fish run at you really fast, you can't really catch up to them with a 5 3-to-1. They jump, you get slack in your line, you lose them. So 6 3-to-1 almost exclusively. If I'm in really heavy current, I will go to a 7 3-to-1. So but I use 10 12, like I said, same line, same deal, different rod. Another really good one. Next one. This is probably my favorite reel of all time. I have like 4 of these, and I wish they still made them, but they don't. It's a Quantum EXO. If you can see that. Beat up, very beat up. This is a 7'9" deep cranking rod from 13. It's an NV Black. This is my deep cranking rod, at least one of my setups. This rod is a composite too. I'm not a glass guy, strictly glass at least. I like graphite for certain things, but I'm more of a composite guy for my cranking stuff. I think glass is a little bit too flimsy, but it's all personal preference. Some people really like glass, and take away the sensitivity a little bit with glass, and some people like composite, some people like graphite, kind of in between on the composite and graphite depending on what you're doing. But this rod's really good too. It seems, I haven't got to use it much, but it seems very nice. I really like it. All right, next one, we're gonna go to small stuff. So that was my deep cranking rod, the 7.9. This is for like your really small flat sides, your 1.0s, your really small square bills, maybe a DT6 even if you wanted to. But you can throw a DT6 on the 7.4s too. But and this is gonna be just a straight graphite rod. This is a Quantum Smoke S3 rod. It's a medium light. So the Quantum Smoke S3 line they're typically a little bit stiffer on their actions. So the medium light's really, to me, like a medium. It's straight graphite, has a really soft tip, and it helps you fling those little baits around really well. This is 7 foot, so helps you with a little bit, tighter cover, just smaller baits, things like that. And I really like this rod. I'm a big square bill guy, and this is probably my favorite square bill rod, at least all around. You can throw a little bit bigger ones on it if you want, but that 7 foot medium light Quantum Smoke S3 is pretty fire of a crankbait rod. And 6-1-1 reel, Smoke S3 6-1-1 reel, and yeah, awesome little square bill rod. All right, and then finally, this is a Quantum Accurist. I know a lot of these are Quantums. I have a lot of Quantum rods from past and just in general, but this is a Quantum Accurist. This is a 7 foot medium moderate, and it's also a composite rod. This rod is really nice for your little bit bigger square bills and still having a short enough rod that you need to be in and out of cover a little bit, like where you got to make precise casts or things like that, because it's 7 foot. It's not a 7.4. It's not too much to handle around tight areas. And it's a really awesome rod. The one thing I wish they did different is I wish the butt was longer. This handle is really short, and some people are not going to like that. I mean, it's definitely an adjustment for me, and I still wish it was a little bit longer, but it's still a really good rod overall. And this rod definitely has caught me a ton of fish, and probably, one of my favorites along with the rest of them. But so that was a little bit of a short rundown on my cranking rods. I throw them a lot. I have 5 different cranking rods I really stick to, 6 all the time. That one, the 7 foot Quantum graphite rod. This one, that's the 7 foot medium light. This is also a really good jerkbait rod too. That's why there's a jerkbait on it, because I throw jerkbaits or little square bills on it. So that's why there's that on it as well. But those rods are really good. All my reels, like I said, 6-1-1, 6-3-1, maybe a 7-3-1, depending on the situation. So, but that's what I use, and hopefully this is helpful for you guys. I will say in the end story, I'll show you the rods that I like, the actions that I like, but ultimately it's up to you and you experiencing what you like and what helps you get fish in the boat, because it's not going to be the same for everybody. Like I said, a lot of people like graphite, a lot of people like glass, a lot of people like composite. You have to fish them, you have to use them all, you have to see what you like, and then that will help you determine where you want to go from there on your future crankbait rods. So just figured I would do a little short video for you guys so you guys could see what I use when I'm cranking day in and day out, and hopefully this helps you on the next time out fishing. Thanks.